Hey guys, Kay here. Today we'll be playing Soviet Spooky Tales Green Eyes. I have absolutely no idea what the hell this game's about, so let's jump right into it. One day, a mom said to a little girl, "Don't touch the green vinyl." But the girl didn't listen to her mom and listened to the green vinyl. Eeny, meeny, miney, mo. Creepy green eyes are on the wall. Don't you think all this is joke? Little girl is gonna choke. Ooh, we're off to a spicy start. 1986. What the hell's this? Oh, credits. Mom, let's get the Rubik's snake. Dasha? Mother? Dasha, I already told you, we came here for the vinyl. But it's so cool. You can make almost anything you want with it. Like dog, a duck, even a giraffe. And Pashka can even make a balloon. So, Mom, can we please? Everyone in our class already has one. And by all, you mean just Pashka? No, not just one. Everybody has one but me. Alright, let's get this snake. But then we won't buy a vinyl. Let Dad's present to gather dust since it's not gonna play anything until next paycheck. No, I want both the snake and the vinyl. The less you want, the more you get. Why are you so greedy? Dad makes so much money and you can't buy me a toy once a month? Dasha, Daddy is not working in the north to buy all the toys at the store. And besides, you and I agreed that this month we were buying a vinyl. But if you changed your mind, we can just go home. I start my shift at 12. I can't spend half of the day at the store. But Mom... Dasha, it's either the snake or vinyl. Period. I took another look at the kids section. There were multicolored toys on display. They all had a shiny plastic. It's so nice to open a new pack and hear the way it sounds. The Vasilisa, I think that's how you pronounce it, the Vasilisa dolls, and Kokoshniks stood in rows, and each has its own character and face. Pink kitties plushies with stripes on their backs. Fur puppies wearing plaid ponchos. Roly-poly toys with round faces and spinning tops on suction cups with horses. Almost like in the program What? Where? When? I wanted them all at once, especially the snake, and the spinning top, and at least one little doll, not to mention record, of course. Why is Mom so stubborn? As if she wasn't a little girl herself, and if you try to negotiate with adults, they just ignore you and punish you. I'm not going to argue. I won't change Mom's mind anyway, and I risk not getting a present at all. Alright, let's get the vinyl. The toy section saw us through the sad eyes of stuffed animals. But I cheered up a little as soon as we got to the vinyl section. The music section shelves, there were vinyls by divided genres. Fairy tales, classical music, pop music, just to name a few. In addition to all that, you could all see the amazing artwork and designs that each one had. Mom, can I choose? Of course you can, Dasha. Behind the counter, I could see the sales assistant's shadow, blocking the colorful shelves with her white robe. Almost in a theatrical way, she corrected her perm, her bright lips which resembled a bow, and her eyebrows that formed an arch over her blue shadowed eyelids. Sales assistant, good afternoon, what can I help you with? We have vinyls for everyone, even those with the most refined taste. Dasha, go ahead. What would you like to see? The sales assistant's gaze was fixed on me, and I felt uncomfortable. Mom, why don't you do it? Hello, could you please show us what fairy tales you have? The sales assistant glanced at me. Lady, isn't it too late to listen to fairy tales? Just look at her, she's too big. Honey, what grade are you in? Jeez, what a savage. Reply? In 4th, B. She's such a big girl, she doesn't need fairy tales. She needs something more serious. Here, classical music. Tchaikovsky, Ministry of Culture of the USSR. Leningrad Council UHP 33 RPM, long playing, 12 inches. Girl, do you go to music school? Do you listen to Pyotr Ilyich? Oh man, I'm probably butchering some like famous musician's name. I'm so sorry guys. No, who's Pyotr Ilyich? What? How can you not know Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky? He's the greatest Russian composer. I mean, I've heard of Tchaikovsky, but his first name I have not, so yeah, excuse me. The greatest Russian composer. Haven't you ever been to Nutcracker? Yeah, there was a Japanese anime. I think it's like Spring something or whatever. There was Tchaikovsky music in there. Piano music. I saw the cartoon on TV. The cartoon? Pff, girl, it's a world's famous ballad. So what if it's Tchaikovsky? I like Forum, the band, and fairy tales are not too late for me. Everybody likes fairy tales. What else have you got? Parade of Pop Soloists 1 by the Apalevka Order of Lenin, record plant, stereo, 33 RPM, 12 inches. It was just delivered yesterday. Would you like to have it? Or this year's novelty, Joseph Kobzon, Forgotten Tango, All Union Melodia, recording studio, 33 RPM, stereo. A girl should learn how to have good taste. The sales assistant started daydreaming and sang off key. Oh my lord, what was that awful noise? The night was luminous. White flowering clusters were bursting into the moon. The bird cherry tree was full bloom. Oh, how wonderfully it was blooming. I was so in love with you, was whispering shy tender words to you, and you gave me your heart that moonlit midnight. I don't like that sales assistant. She only gets in the way. And the covers of the fairy tales are so pretty. Puss in Boots, Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. Oh, the Bremen musicians. It's just like mine. But I heard of almost all of these. I was browsing through everything I could see. I was looking for something special. After all, it could be considered a gift from my dad. And I wouldn't want to make a mistake and buy something silly. But as luck would have it, there was nothing interesting. Oh, wait a second. What's that black cover? A strange vinyl caught my attention. Its envelope was completely black. I've never seen anything like this before, nothing painted on the cover, and there was no title, so I wondered what was inside. When I looked closer, I saw the vinyl itself was peeking out of the envelope, but it wasn't black at all, like the usual ones. On the contrary, it was a very bright green color. Wow, a green vinyl. How unusual. That's what I need. I pulled my mom's sleeve and whispered in her ear, "Mom, let's ask her to give us that one, or she will be singing like non-stop." "Excuse me, could you please show us that vinyl with the black envelope?" The sales assistant took out the envelope without a name and threw it on the counter. People have no taste nowadays. They listen to all kinds of nonsense, rock and some other stuff. "Mom, let's get it. I've never seen vinyls this color." "Tell me, please, how much is it?" "Lady, what does it say on the back?" Mom turned the envelope over, but there was no writing on it. She carefully took out the record to find out the price. "It is forbidden to take the goods out of the package. Can you read?" Come on, what do you think is the sign for? Go to the cash register to pay for it. Straight ahead and to the right. That'll be 1 ruble, 25 kopecks. Dasha, let's hurry, we have to go. Mom took the black envelope and without saying goodbye to the sales assistant, we hurried to leave the section of the store. The cash register buzzed loudly and the green vinyl was finally mine. What a rude sales assistant, just a brat. I didn't even have time to ask what the vinyl was. Mom, it's okay that we don't know what's on it. It's more interesting that way. Let it be a surprise. I love surprises, especially good ones. Oh, Dasha, I have to run. It's 10:30. I'm late for work. Let's go to the tram. Mom, can I carry the vinyl? Of course you can, but be careful. Vinyls are fragile. The weather outside was surprisingly warm for early October, but the yellow leaves on the trees were already shivering helplessly. Knowing that winter was coming, I don't like winter. Mom, is it cold in the north where Dad is now? Mom sighed. It's cold. It's almost always cold there. Can you imagine how happy Dad will be when he comes home? Will he be back soon? Dasha, you already asked me that today. Mom, tell me again, please. Soon. And he'll be listening to the new vinyl with us. Oh, there's our tram. We ran into the tram, and it closed its doors, creaking and swaying, and took us home. There were not many people in the salon. It was still working hours, so you could only see pensioners, students in the second shift, and people like my mom who worked in shifts. Mom, look how much room there is. Let's sit by the window. Okay, Dasha, but first, please, validate the tickets. I'll get them. Wait. Mom took out her pocket, 2 small packs of different colors, red and green, tore off 2 tickets of 3 kopecks each and gave them to me. Here you go, and I'll sit down. Alright, but I want my seat by the window. I looked around the tram in search of a ticket validator. The nearest one was hanging opposite the entrance. Aha, there you are. Too bad I only had 2 tickets. I could easily punch them. I wish I had a bigger pack to test my strength. I wonder if I could punch 10 tickets at a time. The ticket slid easily into the validator slot. When I hit the handle, I heard a familiar, pleasant sound. I'd punched tickets 100 times, and each time I enjoyed the feeling of the paper resisting and being defeated when the mechanism created a hole through it. Bingo! I looked at the ticket number. Wow, it's a lucky ticket. And what a lucky ticket it is. All 6 digits are the same. Mom, look. A lucky ticket. It's all 3s. I've never had anything like it. Dasha, don't shout in the tram. It's indecent. If I make a wish and eat this ticket, it will definitely come true. Or should I keep it? Let's keep the ticket. No, you can't eat that ticket. It's very rare. I'd rather keep it and show it to Daddy when he gets back. He'll be so surprised. I carefully put the ticket in my pocket and went to my mom. Outside the window, houses and cars were running by. My mother ruffled my hair and hugged me tightly, and I leaned my forehead against the glass and hugged the black envelope I bought. I wondered what was recorded in it. Probably some great song. Maybe even an American song. I've never had one of those before. Everyone in class will be jealous, especially this Xena. We'll have to listen to the vinyl when we get home. Mom, how long is our ride? About 15 minutes or so. 15 minutes? So long. All the way my forehead rhythmically tapped some kind of melody, and under this lullaby, I fell asleep. Oh dear, what a beautiful vinyl you have. Can I hold it? Xena. She's being all jealous. Xena, you can't. You'll get it dirty. Come on, Dasha, please. Can I come to your house and listen to it? No way, I haven't played it myself yet. And if you want, I'll give you my collection of New Year cards. I won't spare anything for you, just let me at least touch it, I beg you. And you won't bully me anymore, call me names or be mean to me? No, of course not. I'll be your best friend. You want me to carry your bag for you? Do you want me to give you my lunch in the cafeteria? In the compote? Sure thing. Take the compote too. You're welcome. Actually, I already promised Ashka and Lena to let them listen to it, so I guess you are the last in line. Maybe in a couple of weeks the vinyl will be free. Thank you, dear, thank you. I'll tell everyone how good and kind you are. Dasha, it's time. Dasha, let's go. Why did you fall asleep? Have we arrived? Too bad. I had such a nice dream. After all, the tram is how old ladies move around and it goes at the same speed. Let's hurry home, we have to hurry. We quickly got off the tram and walked down the narrow street towards our house, which was the number 33. It was on Lennon Street and not far from the stop. We could already see our yard of several 9-story buildings with a cozy entrance through the archway. But suddenly, out of nowhere, our way was a street dog, which was something between a bichon? Bitchin. I don't know. Bichon in a I got no idea what the hell this breed is in a shoe brush. There's that dog hanging around again. Look at the way she's staring at me. She's gonna come at me. Hey, get out of here, I'm telling you. The dog sniffed the air a few times with his nose, then ducked his head to the ground and growled. It showed a row of small sharp teeth. Despite its size, it could harm anyone with its bite. What a stupid animal. Dasha, hide behind me before it bites you. Shoving the vinyl into my mom's hands, I looked around for a suitable branch. Luckily, there was one near me. The local boys broke it off during a game where they pretended to be soldiers. Without any sudden movements, my hand slowly reached for the cherished goal. The dog watched my every movement carefully, as if he suspected something. Finally, my fingers found the stick and I grasped it firmly. Throw it, I got it. I squeezed my new wooden weapon and prepared to make a dash for it. Mom, not understanding what I was going to do, looked at me with amazed eyes. Lucy, fetch. The stick whistled across the lawn and with a thud fell to the ground somewhere behind the bushes. The dog scrambled with his paws and rushed after the branch. Lucy, come to me. A smudgy, satisfied Lucy brought her prey and licked my face. I don't know, I feel like this whole story is going to be like very lighthearted and stuff. Anything bad that's going to happen is just going to be in Dasha's imagination. This dog, I'm just going to say dog, this dog, as soon as it smells from which side I will appear, will rush and meet me. There's no one in the whole world cuter than this little thing. I always have a cookie in my briefcase for her, and Lucy always has time to walk me to school. Alright, Lucy, that's enough. Lucy, what a cheeky one. How long have you been waiting for me? Sorry, I don't have anything with me. I'll bring you something tasty before school. Lucy fell on her back, indicating she wanted me to scratch her belly. Dasha, leave that dog alone. Mom, can Lucy live with us? Look how smart she is. Look at you coming up with silly ideas. She may as well have fleas and maybe be contagious. Why do we need an animal at home who could have a ringworm, especially at the beginning of the school year? When they shave your head, you'll know why you shouldn't touch stray dogs with your bare hands. She doesn't have fleas, and I've known her for a long time. My mother looked at Lucy lying on her back, and she wrinkled her nose and, without saying anything, went through the archway into the yard. I had to go home too. Wait, Lucy, I'll be back soon. Lucy walked with us to the yard and obediently sat down to wait for my return with the promised cookies. The yard at the beginning of the school year wasn't as noisy as it was during the summer, but still had kids of all ages running around. The unsteady melody of rusty swings was complemented by bicycle bells, kids counting, and pigeons cooing. I suddenly felt the need to run and go down the iron slide a couple of times, and I even took a few steps toward the playground, but I remembered that we were in a hurry to get home because my mom had to go to work. That's okay, I'll ride it later. Granny sat on the bench near our house and looked, as always, at everyone who passed by. When I was small and played ball by the white wall of the entrance, I always listened with pleasure to everything that people say. Who got married, who had a baby, who bought what and what was going on in the whole world. Grandmothers knew, it seems, everything, and even before everyone else knew. Let's listen. Have you heard? Our Igor from Poltavskaya Street has disappeared again. They've been looking for him for 2 days now. Our neighbor, Polina Semyonovna, says she had a dream the other day that aliens were taking Igor to a spaceship. No way the aliens took him away. He probably got drunk in the garage with his buddies and went home to the workshop supervisor to settle their relation. He's probably sitting in a drunk tank now, where he can't remember his name. Oh, sweetie, you can't talk about a man like that. Igor Petrovich, by the way, built the sandbox on the playground with his own hands and didn't take money for it. Our Igor Petrovich is very handy, God bless his soul. Why does he need money? He got a bottle for his service, and he was happy. Remember, there was a similar case in 59. A whole group of kids, tourists, or what do you call them? Mountaineers, were attacked by aliens when they were sleeping in their tents at night, and all of them were killed. There was a big fuss all over the country about it. I know a policeman who told me in confidence that witnesses claimed that they saw aliens in those places with their own eyes. And others said that it was not aliens but Bigfoot. That's right. I remember at that time even a sketch of it was printed in Pravda. Okay, Maya, what the hell's the third one's name? I didn't pay attention. There's no Bigfoot, Faya Ivanovna. I know your stories. Students should drink less in the mountains. They get drunk and get into arguments with each other. I know they're kind. They settle any dispute with their fists. That's for sure. And when they're drunk, oh, they'll have a good time. So they all froze to death in the cold. Oh, Raya. Okay. Faya, Maya, Raya. Oh, sweetie, how can you say that? I think the boys decided to warm up and be healthy so they took off their clothes to rub themselves with snow. The leader of the group, by the way, was a silver medalist, but the boys didn't think about everything, and that's why God took their souls away. Yeah, then they didn't warm up properly, did they? What were the authorities looking at? After all, the trip was dedicated to the 21st Congress of the CPSU, and then the place has been named after the medalist ever since. It was either Sorokin Pass or Orlov, some bird's name I don't remember. Dyatlov Pass. Good morning. Tanya, my dear, hello. Hello. Tanya, tell your mother that I found out the details of what happened to the red refrigerator. I'll tell her today. Let her come out with a chair after 3, in case there aren't enough seats on the bench. Okay, I'll tell her. Don't get dirty, they're painting inside the building. Yeah, the housing department has managed to paint the walls. The painters are already at work. They're probably messing up the floor. And who'll clean it up? We'll have to do it again. Who else? Dasha, your Pashka came by in a hurry. He asked me to remind you that you are supposed to collect the herbarium. Oh right, the herbarium? I completely forgot. It's a science today? He also asked me about the oak tree. If it grows around here, such a good boy. God bless him. He's a good boy, but he's too quick. He ran again across the street when the light was red. What an idiot. I'll tell his mom everything, and why does he need that oak tree? There's plenty of leaves lying around. He can take as many as he wants. Well, we're off. Have a nice day. In the entrance, we were met by blue-colored walls with peeled plaster and soot from matches. Along the stairs, unknown artists have left their messages to posterity with a nail or pen. Some immortalized their favorite soccer team, and others frankly expressed their attitude towards their neighbor. And against my will, I read Lyuba plus Petya. Spartak is the champion. Vasya is an ass. Soon everything would be painted over. Dasha, run and check the mail, see if anything came. But hurry up, I've already called the elevator. Mom, let me use the stairs. Why? The elevator's faster. Ah, Pashka, I told you all kinds of spooky stories again, right? It's not spooky stories, it's all true. So what is it this time? A red hand? Black sheet? Green tomatoes? That's the kind of scary stuff they told me at camp. Where would all that stuff come from in an elevator? Did they tell you about the black man at camp? Oh, that's new, I don't remember that. It's funny to you, but Pashka's acquaintance disappeared like that. How he disappeared? He went into the elevator and no one ever saw him again, all because of the Shadow Strangler. If you take the elevator first to the 8th floor, then go straight down to the 3rd floor, and then go to the 9th floor, a Shadow Strangler will enter the elevator. And then what happens? Well, you can't talk to him under any circumstances. He'll press the button for the 6th floor, and when the elevator goes down, he'll get out. What's the big deal? So he gets in and then he gets out. It's that among the buttons, there's a button with no digits at all. And if you press it, the elevator will take you to hell, and you'll never come home again. Ha 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 ha. Oh, what a great imagination Pashka has. What if you talk to this man when he gets into the elevator? He'll strangle you right away. What if you don't press the button without a number? Mom, I'm serious. Dasha, first of all, if you know that all this will end badly, why follow these complicated instructions if it's easy to make a mistake? And secondly, we live on the 7th floor. We don't even need to go up to the 8th floor, let alone down to the 3rd. Let's take the elevator. No, Mom, I'll take the stairs. I'll race you. Whoever gets up the fastest wins. Ha 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 ha. Alright, let's do it. Between the 1st and 2nd floors, under the window, there were 2 rows of mailboxes of the residents of our building. Quite often you could see different letters and newspapers coming out of them. But the most interesting thing was, of course, subscription magazines. It was easy to recognize our mailbox, number 26, even though the number was almost gone. Someone had once scratched a funny duck on the door. To be honest, it didn't look much like a duck. That's probably why the artist signed below, just in case it's a duck. I wondered who did it and why. As Daddy would say, I wish I could catch that person and slap them on the wrist. But screw them, especially since I myself once wrote my name at the entrance wall. Despite the fact that the inscription Dasha was small and hardly noticeable, I felt a slight excitement and pride every time I looked at it, because so far no one has guessed that I did it. It was my little secret. I guess I could have been a real spy, like Steerlitz. I opened the door. Oh, something had arrived. Inside the mailbox there were 3 magazines. Let's check them out. Roman Gazetta is my dad's subscription, boring adult stories, almost no pictures. Kostior prints funny stories about school children, but I've never read them all, only the most interesting ones. But Vesioli Kartink is another matter. It was my favorite magazine. The pictures there were really funny, always so bright and colorful. I'll never stop my subscription, not even when I become an adult. No letter from Dad again. Is he so busy there that he can't write us even the smallest letter? Dasha, I'm on my way. Then I heard the elevator doors closing, and remembering our competition with my mother, I rushed up the stairs. I flew up the last step and landed on the 7th floor just as my mom was getting out of the elevator. Me first, me first. You always are, you're so fast. So, did anything arrive? Yes, the magazines did. Dad's and mine, no letters. I see, no Rabbit Nitsna again? Mom's magazine Rabbit Nitsna was a little better than Roman Gazetta, but still boring. I only like the recipes and the girls in fancy dresses, and the fact that my mom lets me cut out the pictures as long as it doesn't ruin the pattern. No, Mom, it didn't. Maybe someone stole it. Grandma Maya probably took it to read. She'll put it back in the mailbox later. Alright, Dasha, give me the magazines before they get wrinkled. Painter? Petrovich, goddammit. Something rattled on the floor above, and the familiar smell of paint hit my nose. Mom wrinkled her nose and looked up. Yes, the renovation had begun so quickly. And as always, at the wrong time. Why at the wrong time? Because they had to paint in the summer while everyone was away at the countryside. Mom took the keys out of her purse, opened the door, and we entered the apartment. Grandma? Tanya, Dasha, how did it go? What did you see? Graham, there were so many toys and dolls and different games. It was good, Mom, but I'm late for work. We stayed more than expected. Grandma Faya told me to tell you to be down there by 3 p.m. Something about some refrigerator. Oh, she'll tell her nonsense again, the old gossip. Maybe, Tanya, you'll have time to eat some soup? I made such a delicious borscht. No, Mom, I'll eat at work. Our kindergarten has good food. I'll have some, Graham. What a good girl. If you eat everything, you'll grow up faster. Did you eat anything from the store? Here, Graham, look at this green vinyl. But we don't know what's inside. How come you don't know? Oh, it must be very expensive. Wow, what a beautiful color. They didn't make vinyls like this in our time. Mom, leave it in the hall for now and we'll listen to it together tonight. I wanted to listen to it now before school. Dasha, let's do it tonight. We'll have a little party in honor of an unusual purchase. Alright, but then we need to buy lemonade for the party. Sure, on my way back, I can go to the store and buy Buratino. Maybe you can get some Pepsi instead? Buratino is already boring. Okay, Dasha, I'll see if they have some. Oh, Tanya, don't get Pepsi. Some say it's bad for your stomach. Mom, you're at it again, aren't you, believing everything you hear? It's not that. I know what I'm talking about. Granny, don't worry, we have it hundreds of times and nothing's happened. Here, take the vinyl. I wish the evening would come sooner. I can't wait to find out what's on that vinyl. Dasha, I almost forgot. Here's a present for Zinochka. You can give it to her at school. It's her birthday today, isn't it? Mom, you got it all wrong again. Yes, it's Zena's birthday today, but she will celebrate it this Saturday in 2 days. I looked at the present in my grandmother's hands. It was a brand new bright red box with the word Rubik's snake on it. Grandma, is that a snake for Zena? Is that her birthday present? Mom, you bought Zena a snake? What about me? I asked for one at the store today, and you said I couldn't have one. Now even Zena will have a snake, and she'll tease me again that I don't have a father and that I'm a beggar. I was blind by my anger, and my hands, out of the blue, snatched the box from my grandmother's hands. The package suddenly opened. The neatly folded puzzle slipped out and flew down. Okay. Ouch! What's the meaning of all this? Dasha, aren't you ashamed to behave like this? Mom, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. It's not really broken. It's just parts that flew off. They're easy to put back on. Zena has everything and I don't. Her dad always gets her everything and she's always so mean. She calls me names. I can't stand her. Why do I have to give her presents? Dasha, you know that yours and Zena's moms are colleagues and have been friends since childhood. You should be friends too. Zena gives you presents on your birthday. Why wouldn't you do the same? Let her have it. She always gives me crap and keeps all the good stuff. And anyway, I don't need them. I throw them in the trash. Alright, young lady, that's enough. My patience is wearing thin. Starting today, you're grounded. You will not watch cartoons until you learn to behave. And when your father gets here, I'll tell him everything. What are we going to give Zena now? We'll give Zena the vinyl we bought today. I'll throw the snake away. It's no longer suitable as a present. It was a waste of money. Oh, Tanya. Mom, no. You broke Zena's present and now you give her yours. It's only fair. And don't you dare touch the green vinyl, do you understand? But Mom, I've said it all. Mom picked up the toy and left the apartment, slamming shut the door. A moment later, there was a sound like something was falling through the garbage chute. It was Zena's snake. Tears of frustration started to come out and was unable to restrain myself, so I ran into my room. It wasn't my fault. It was an accident and the box opened by itself. And if my mom had bought me the same snake today, then none of this would have happened at all. And now they've taken the vinyl away. My green vinyl. Grandma came quietly into the room and hugged me. Don't cry, my dear. You know your mother loves you. And with Xena, you should be friends. She's not a bad girl and studies for A's. But, alright, stop crying. It's time to get ready for school, or you'll be late. Oh, I still haven't given you some borscht. It's probably cold by now. I don't want to eat. I've lost my appetite. Well, you should. The soup is very tasty. Graham, when you were a kid, did you hate someone? Of course I did. I remember Valerie was my classmate, a terrible bully. He wouldn't let me go, teased me, pulled my braids. I couldn't stand him. And you became friends with him later? No way, we were like cat and dog until 10th grade. Did you ever fight him back? Him? I couldn't fight back. He was a big guy, a head taller than me. I had a hard time with him until I got into college, and after that I never saw him again. I found out later that Valerie was in love with me, but he didn't know how to say it, so he played around. Grandma's strange story calmed me down a little, but I still didn't want to be friends with Xena. Quite the opposite. I wanted to get back at her somehow, but how? Suddenly an idea popped into my head. That's right. Let her have the vinyl, but I'll listen to it first. I got the vinyl, it's only fair. But how can I do it after Mom grounded me? Sneak around and listen to the vinyl in secret or convince Grandma. I don't think we're smart enough to convince Grandma, so let's sneak around and listen to it. I have to distract Grandma so I can get the vinyl without her seeing me. You know, Grandma, I'll have some of your delicious borscht before school. Just heat it up for me while I change, will you? What a good girl. Right away, Dasha. I'll heat it up for you. Grandma went into the kitchen and I quietly head into the hall. Vinyl must be around here somewhere. I looked around. On the shelf near the books, I noticed a familiar black envelope. There you are. As I approached the cabinet, I smelt for a second strange, sweet odor that was clearly coming from the vinyl. I'd encountered that smell before, last summer when Pashka, Lena, and I had climbed up to the abandoned house. It smelled like that under the stairs of the first floor. Pashka joked that a cat had died there. It was dark and Lena and I were afraid to look under to check if it was true. Pashka called me a coward. What a friend. What am I thinking? I'm imagining all kinds of things. I'm not a coward. It's probably just the smell of old things, that's all. I've got to hurry up. I've got to go to school soon. I took the vinyl and slipped back into my room. On the windowsill between the two speakers was my favorite vinyl player, a Vega 108 stereo. My dad had given to me for my last birthday, and now my mom buys new vinyl almost every month. I like fairy tales. I already have a whole box of them. If I could avoid going to school and doing silly lessons, I would listen to them all day long. My favorite is the Bremen Town Musicians. I've had it since I was a kid, as long as I can remember. I've listened to it probably 100 or 200 times. Because of that, it's already scratched up, and it's always stuttering on the guard's song. It's even funny when the vinyl player starts making oh sounds instead of oh, too bad that sunrise we meet with our eyes. But for some reason my mom doesn't like it and asked me to turn it off again because it probably sounds like, you know. I carefully took the new vinyl out of the black S-Night envelope and put it on the player. It's so beautiful after all. Too bad. I'm only going to listen to it once, but once is better than never. There was a black paper label in the center of the vinyl. That's strange. Such circles usually have the name of a story or an album with a list of songs written on it, and also the playback speed 33, 45, and rarely 78 RPM. But there's nothing here, just a black circle. Maybe it's some kind of defect. Maybe they forgot to print it? The player was set to 33 RPM, so I'll try that first. If anything, I'll switch to other one. I wonder if listening to vinyls at the wrong speed ruins them. One time I played Thumbelina faster than I was supposed, and it was so funny, all the characters were gibbering like gnomes. I pressed the on button and I turned on the player. The red light came on and excitement ran through my whole body. Now I would finally hear everything. I turned down the volume just in case. The start key spun my vinyl around, and I carefully placed the needle on the very edge. There was a nice soft crackling sound in the speakers that was impossible to confuse. I froze in anticipation of the magic to come, unable to take my eyes off the mysterious purchase. Suddenly some cheerful music came from the speakers. Oh, something familiar. I think I've heard this tune somewhere before. It's the dog waltz. When our teacher played it for us in school, we all would start barking in a funny way. I remember she told us that it is still unknown who composed this melody, and that it was mistakenly attributed to another musician. I don't remember which one. Tapping out a funny tune with my foot, I remembered Lucy. I wish I could let her listen to this vinyl now. I can imagine how she would dance, standing on her hind legs. Although Dog Waltz was not what I expected to hear on the green vinyl, it still cheered me up, and now I was wondering what tune would be next. But the next tune never came. The waltz kept playing and playing, endlessly repeating the same tune. Is it only the dog waltz? No way. I listened for a few more minutes, but the music remained the same. All the fun gradually faded away, replaced by disappointment. That's it? What a load of crap. If I had known it would be like this, I wouldn't have quarreled with my mother over a stupid vinyl. Let Xena have the stupid waltz. I'm sure she danced it like a little dog, just like Lucy, and I'd say to her when I see her, Xena, fetch! Xena, come here! Xena, play dead! What's that? The vinyl suddenly began to play some strange sounds, only remotely resembling the old melody. Goosebumps ran down my back, and my body felt numb. I couldn't scream or run away. The nasty sound cut my ears like a knife, and I closed my eyes shut because of the pain. Through the scraping and noise, I suddenly heard a terrible voice. Eeny, meeny, miney, mo. Creepy green eyes are on the wall. Don't you think all this is choke? Little girl is gonna choke. Who's that? Maybe mommy's back, but why so early? I have to put the vinyl back before I get caught. I can't imagine how mad mom would be if she saw me with it. Grandma's gonna be in trouble too. Suddenly, the music stopped. The vinyl player was turned off and even the needle was put back in its place. That's hot. Maybe I turned it off myself. I just hadn't noticed it. Okay, gotta hurry up. Okay. I walked back into the hallway and stared right at the door. No, that doesn't sound like Mom. Mom has keys. Maybe she forgot them. Dasha, look who's here. It's definitely not Mom. She would never ring the doorbell so many times. Maybe one of the neighbors? Fear crept up and a chilling feeling started somewhere inside. I started to hear the strange words from the new vinyl. Little girl is gonna choke. We'll have to see who's standing outside the door. I slowly, almost without making a sound, approached the door peephole. I knew I'd give myself away when the light of the apartment flashed on the back of the peephole, but curiosity mixed with fear had already gotten the better of me. What the hell was that? There was a tall black silhouette with green lights for eyes, almost staring at the door. That's it? Oh, come on, man, yo, that was starting to get so good. I really loved the artwork of this, and the sound design too was great. Yeah, that's the end of the demo, but once they do come out with the full version, we'll definitely give it a go. And yeah, good job, devs. Yeah, we're gonna call it here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. I'll leave a link to the game in the description. Other than that, take it easy.